Simon Belmont, flag bearer of the Castlevania series, newest resident to the Super Smash Bros. Universe, guest appearance to Super Bomberman R, and he even had time to make it all the way over to my YouTube channel. It's safe to say that he is the hottest commodity in town, with fans clamoring to every bit of information regarding his release for Super Smash Bros. Guess he'll get a new amiibo. That'll be quite interesting as well. And the guy deserves it. I mean, he stared death in the face for the last 32 years, carrying the banner for Castlevania, and he's a fan favorite. It was about time that he made his appearance in Super Smash Bros. I am psyched. I'll get the game, I'll play with him, I'll see what he's all about. Make sure to make a video or two about it, some let's play, some review. But that's that. Let's back up. Let's back up all the way to 1986. The year Simon Belmont was born and made his debut on a Nintendo system, being the Famicom. I'm gonna show you some gameplay footage of the very first Castlevania on the Famicom Mini system. As with the previous video, Kirby's Adventure, I grew up with this game, and I remember looking at that box art, how amazing it looked back then, and I'll be honest with you, I still love it. Konami did a great job with this release and the game itself, because this is a game that I didn't manage to finish when I was young. Truth be told, I couldn't. I mean, I have always loved the game, but somehow it was always too difficult, and then I would make my way over to Kirby or Super Mario Brothers or Duck Hunt or you name them, and then I would return to Castlevania only to never finish the game. And that has been the thing ever since. I got the game again on the Nintendo Wii Virtual Console. Same story. I love the game, never finished it. But now, for the first time in my history, I have actually finished the game. And it feels pretty damn good. Albeit it being 32 years late. But hey, there's a first time for everything, and as Simon is heading to Super Smash Bros., I think we should delve a little deeper in his own history. So who is he? Well, he is leader of the Belmont family, nemesis to Dracula, and overall badass, slaying the undead left, right and center. This guy has an arsenal of weapons at his disposal, quite like Link. He has a whip, he has these bottles that just explode in your face, he has crosses, the list goes on and on. And yes, he will bring all of these items with him to Super Smash Bros. This first Castlevania game, in a series that's been spanning for the last 32 years now, is in my eyes an absolute masterpiece, and it is no coincidence that Nintendo selected this title for their lineup for the Famicom Mini and for the NES Classic. In essence, the game is a 2D action platformer, and the difficulty is quite high, especially for newcomers, especially for people who didn't grow up with these pixel perfect jumps and these enemies that will throw you back once you get hit. And that is one of the most annoying things of games of that era, that once you get hit, you not only get stunned, but you get thrown back, and way too often you tumble all the way down and have to redo the level. No save game, back to start. And that is why when you're finally able to make your way through a level, it is so gratifying. So in this game you have to platform your way all the way to the end, and on your way you have to slay many enemies. You can hit these candles that are scattered all over the place, and some heart might drop out of it, or an upgrade for your whip that becomes tougher, that becomes longer, and can give you some definite advantages. Then there are these throwing weapons, there are these crosses that you can throw like a boomerang, there are these knives that you can throw, there are these bottles that I spoke about that explode. And with this arsenal of weaponry, you make your way through all the way to the end, if you're able to. And as many games of this era, once you have defeated an enemy and you spend your life and you spend your time studying their ways and trying to avoid to get hit, once you revisit this area, say if you walk all the way out of the screen and you come back to the same place, you'll find them regenerate again. And you have to beat them again. In that way, this game is equally tough, or perhaps not quite as tough as Ninja Gaiden, which is of the same era, also from the Famicom and the NES. That is an absolute favorite of mine that I'll be covering on this channel soon as well. Though there have been many games that are platformers or action platformers in that era, one thing that definitely makes Castlevania stand out, that makes Simon Belmont stand out, is the way he moves through the game. He moves around like an absolute heavyweight, and there's something iconic about walking those stairs. Though, granted, it is annoying at times when you're standing at the base of a stair and you want to throw a weapon, which is a button combination of the up arrow on the direction pad or D-pad and the attack button. And instead of throwing that weapon, you find yourself walking up that stairs because you press that up button. But hey, if you only have so many buttons to work with, you have to make your way around it. So you better position yourself in a better place before you try it. As a kid, I was never too interested in the storyline in games. The most important thing for me, and I think for many a kid, especially in that era, was A, the gameplay, and B, the artwork, the sprite work, the music. And speaking of music, this game is absolutely fantastic. It has some of the most distinguishable themes in video game history, and to hear those again in yesterday's Nintendo Direct or Super Smash Bros. Direct, that was just pure nostalgia, and I had to get this video out to you guys. So though there is a definite storyline here about the Belmont family and how they battle Dracula, and that Simon is there as a head of the family, to me that was not so important. What was important, however, is the atmosphere of this game, and it was creepy at the time. Now I look at it with different eyes, but it is just as valuable, it's just as good. And this is a game that, of course, most of the viewers here will have played. And if you haven't played this game yet, pause this video, get yourself a copy of this game, play it, return to this video, and drop a comment in the section down below. Konami back in the day used to be a very hot company with big titles, big hits, and Castlevania was but one of them. But Castlevania has become the standard for Konami. And I wish they would put a little more love and affection into the Castlevania series as it is today. And with Simon Belmont's inclusion in the new Super Smash Bros. Release, I have a feeling that we might see a new Castlevania game heading for the Nintendo Switch, or perhaps a compilation of all the games, and maybe this very first Castlevania will make its appearance on the Nintendo Switch. At this point, of course, it's pure speculation and nothing but dreams, but I hope that Konami will come out soon and surprise us with something big. Guys, at the moment of recording, we're but a few hours away from Dragon Ball FighterZ hitting the Nintendo Switch in its beta version. I will try to get a live stream out for you guys and see what the game is all about. I'll be playing with an arcade stick. Hope to see you guys out there, and thank you so much for watching.